Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Driving the Line, your sports betting brand of record. I'm your pal, Jonathan Zaslow, in for the coach. You know, he's a world traveler all over the place with the PGA Tour. So I'll step in the driver's seat today. We'll hang out. We're going to get you the great plays. We're going to start your week off right here on Driving the Line. Couple things to let you know about. Number one, we did it, everybody. We made it. We survived. This is a football week. That's right. College football's back. This is a college football week. Everybody woke up this morning. You're tuning into Driving the Line, and you're saying to yourself, thank you. Thank you, good Lord. Football is back. You got college football week 0, and now through the middle of February, you got football games that matter every single week. Put the women and children to bed. We did it, everybody. So congratulations. We finally made it. Now, also, tomorrow, major day when it comes to the progress and Driving the Line, continuing to get bigger and bigger and growing. The Driving the Line, the DTL podcast is premiering tomorrow. That's right. Driving the Line podcast premiering tomorrow, wherever you get your podcast. That means everywhere. I could sit here and name all the podcast venues that you can catch the Driving the Line podcast premiering tomorrow, but then I'll be here forever. Wherever you get your podcast, Driving the Line premieres tomorrow, the podcast version. So you check that out, and then that's another thing you'll wake up thanking the good Lord for. Driving the Line podcast premiering tomorrow. All right, let's get to the picks from over the weekend. Let's see what took place. We got to let you know if we had some winners. AB, all right, 500. Excellent job, AB, on the preseason football action. Soupy, he did not hit last night. Yeah, the Little League Classic game, Tigers and Yankees. The Tigers, of course, they get the walk-off win there in front of all the Little Leaguers there in Pennsylvania. All right, let's get to it here. We're going to have great picks for you to get the week started. Let's bring aboard our pal, AB. Of course, the coach isn't here today. AB is always here. Good morning, AB. How are you? Hello.
Good morning, Zaslow. Good morning, crew. Fantastic, man. You doing all right?
Didn't you just hear? I'm doing fantastic. We all woke up this morning. I thank the Lord. It is a football week. We did it, AB. We finally made it. Football now. Put the women and children to bed.
Yeah, it's great, especially when Major League Baseball is turning into the disaster of a sport that it is. We can finally get to real sports and watch some football and not watch 2-1 games constantly.
Now, like I said, tomorrow, huge day for Driving the Line. Adding the Driving the Line podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, search DTL, search Driving the Line. What else does everyone need to know here? We got coming up on tap here at Driving the Line, AB. A lot of exciting stuff.
I believe that podcast is going to be site-specific, so, yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go. All right. So, site-specific, Driving the Line. You'll search for it. You'll be able to find it. Very good. All right. Let's get to our pal, Howie Schwab's crew play. Look at him. So handsome there in his St. John's jersey. AB, take it away with our crew play of the day here. Go ahead.
All right. 2 Major League Baseball games, 4 options here. Orioles-Mets over 9. Orioles-Mets under 9. Reds-Blue Jays over 8. Reds-Blue Jays, well, should be under 8 right there. But it's in the poll vote now. We'll update as we always do at the end of the show.
All right, there you have it. So you got a bunch of options right there. Let's get to our picks. Let's bring in our pals here. Come on now. Oh, look at the beautiful faces joining us here on a Monday morning on Driving the Line. We have our pal Charles. Good morning, Charles. How are you?
Morning, Zaslow crew. Great. I thought you were going to get excited about European football as well, but yeah, American football is a blast also.
Listen, I didn't mention European football this morning because everybody knows I'm always excited about the European footy. Then I'm just repeating myself if I tell you how excited I am there. Of course, excellent job out of you, Charles, to make sure that I mention the excitement level coming out of Europe. Rafael, good morning. How are you on a Monday?
Morning, Zaz. Good morning, crew. Don't forget CFL's on week 12, but we don't want to disappoint the people in Canada. But yeah, we have Canadian football going in there. But good morning, everyone. It should be a fantastic, fantastic week.
That is something that I forgot to mention, Rafael, a huge CFL Canadian Football League fan. So good job out of you mentioning that here. Let's get to our picks. Everybody in the chat, glad to have you aboard here. We're waiting for you're going to pick the play, obviously, later on with the crew play of the day, but you're waiting for our picks and how we're going to get the week started. So let's throw it up there. Let's get to our picks for today. Charles, speaking of the footy, let's start things off with you. What do we got here? Give us a couple winners.
Week 1 of the new La Liga season, it wraps up today, and I pinpointed 2 clubs that enjoy playing one another with Villarreal and Atletico Madrid, who have combined for 3 or more total goals in 5 of their last 6 meetings. So play number 1 is going to be the over 2.7 full-time goals, as I could see at least 4 in this one. Play number 2 is a Zaslow special, the over 9.5 corners, which is cash in 6 of their last 8 encounters. And lastly, I have a stay on your toes live play. Atletico Madrid, team total over 1.5, which they've scored at least 2 in their last 4 trips to Villarreal and 7 of their last matches as well. So once again, Spain La Liga, Villarreal, Atletico Madrid going off at 3:30 p.m. Eastern.
Charles, it's like you're whispering sweet nothings into my ear. You know I love a good corners bet. So over 9.5 corners. I sit there the whole 90 minutes. I'm just rooting for corners. I love it so much. Raphael, you got a little Louisiana Downs action for us. What do you have?
Yeah, when Charles is done cashing his soccer bets, he can go over to Louisiana Track and bet race 6, $10 win plays on a 2-horse Sakura. We know these hips are going to hit the board today on this one. Now, keep an eye for some long shots. The 5-horse, Daddy Hey Daddy, and the 6-horse, Daisy de Aurora. Those also can hit the board. So if you want to do an exacta box, but really like this 2-horse coming from Evangeline Downs, hit the board on her last race 10 days ago. I think she hits the board tonight. So the number 2-horse, Sakura. Give me $10 win place.
AB, it sounds like we got some winners there from Charles and Raphael to get the week started. How about throwing a little baseball for us here today? Come on.
Going to go with the Reds Blue Jays over 8. Now, we don't know yet the Red starter. All right, still undecided. Don't know if they're going to go with a bullpen game. Don't know if they're going to go with a young cat or in the back of the roster lineup there. But don't really care. The Reds are going to score runs off Gausman, and I believe that the Blue Jays, whoever that the Reds put up, likely going to be a multitude of pitchers there. They should tee off early, mid, and late in this one. So we're going to take the over 8 in that game.
All right, now, if you're just tuning in now, if you've missed the first few minutes of Driving the Line today, number one, I don't know what you were doing at the top of the hour that you missed the first few minutes, but that's okay. We'll bring it back later on in the program here. We'll make sure you're all up to speed on all the winners that we're setting you up with here to start your week. All right, so with that said, let's get to educate and entertain. Now, of course, for educate and entertain, everybody, a part of the crew, knows that we've been checking out division by division. We're going team by team every week, every day, You got a couple of teams, and we're giving you the winning place for this upcoming season. While the college football starts this week, NFL, we're still a few weeks away. We got preseason week number 3 here. Everybody's getting their fantasy drafts ready. We're giving you the winning picks, and that includes team totals. Every single day here, we hone in on 2 teams. So the first one that we're looking at today, the Baltimore Ravens. Total is 10.5. All right. So over 10.5, we're looking at -120. Under 10.5, we're at +100. It is important to note last year, 13 wins for the Ravens, 13-4, AFC North champion. I believe they were the number 1 overall seed. We know the big story, though, guys. In Baltimore, this is always a good team. It's usually a double-digit win team, but A, can Lamar Jackson stay healthy? B, can Lamar Jackson win big playoff games? We don't know. Both of them are always in doubt with this Raven team. So, Raphael, let's start with you. Ravens, over under 10.5, and then also we'll make sure we get another play on the Ravens, a future play as well. What do you got?
I'm going to under on this even money, even though I hammered BetMGM on the under at 11.5 when this total was first posted over the summer. So it's a great middle spot. You can even bet the over if you got that 11.5 and have a great middle. Maybe go 10-7 and cash both tickets. This play is all about on how the other teams in this division could be better. And I think maybe it's going to be a complete wash. Maybe everyone be close to 8, 9, 10 wins for the whole division. That's why I kind of like the under in this one. And don't forget the Ravens last year. I think they had 13 games that they won. No, I'm sorry, this year's schedule, 13 teams they play with that are projected to have 8 wins or more on their total season wins. Their schedule is tough, so I just think that's going to be an issue. And then they lost a lot in the O-line. I know they have King Henry there and some key pieces left in defense. So I just think the schedule and how they lost some key players, I think I'm going to go with the under on this one. But it's a great spot because this division is going to be fantastic to watch overall anyways.
Arguably the best division in football. All right. Baltimore. Think about it like this, Raphael. The team that finished last in the division last year was a 9-win Cincinnati Bengals team. Like, I understand Joe Burrow, he couldn't finish the season. He missed a bunch of games, but a 9-win Bengals team was last in the AFC North. Raphael, maybe the best division in football, yes?
I completely agree. I mean, but I don't see another one even close to it just because, Steelers going to be better, even though we still have issues on their quarterback. The Browns, is Watson going to be able to play the whole season? But that defense is going to be around. Eminem over at Cincinnati, is he going to stay healthy? Joe Burrow as the quarterback. So this division is going to be so fun to watch.
Raphael, let's also get a future play. So you like Ravens under 10.5 wins. What else can we look at for the future?
Lamar Jackson's under 4.5 rushing touchdowns, and this because of King Henry's there. I mean, if they're going to be close to the goal line, just give it to the King. His big body's going to push one over. I'm just not sold. Last year, he had 5 rushing touchdowns, but the last 2 years after that was under that number. Granted, he was injured, but again, King Henry in that backfield, the offensive line being a little bit improved on the right side where King Henry likes to go. I think that if they're close to getting a touchdown, why not give it to him? You signed him. So I just think King Henry is the main reason why Lamar Jackson goes under touchdowns.
Kind of feel like you don't see very many running backs like Derrick Henry anymore, where every single year, I know he was just under 300 carries last year, but he's either at or over 300 carries each year, and doesn't eventually he's going to fall off a cliff and slow down, but we haven't seen it yet. A really rare throwback running back these days in the league, Derrick Henry. Charles, Ravens, 10.5 wins. You like the over. What do you like about it?
Yeah, that I do. I kind of disagree. I think the schedule's favorable. Look, they get the Raiders, Bengals, Steelers, Browns. Even if they split with those, the Broncos, Chargers, Giants, Texans, Bucks, Commanders, Cowboys, then Bills, Chiefs, Eagles. They could, those are 50-50 splits as well. So yeah, 13-4 last season. I could definitely see 11 wins at worst, based off of that schedule as well. So yeah, sign me up. Over 10.5 wins for the Ravens.
And how about a Ravens future, Charles?
Most regular season wins for the Ravens as well. This is a hungry, motivated team at plus 550. I think it's worth a flyer.
13 wins last year. Like we said, number 1 in the AFC. I like that plus 550 Ravens most regular season wins. Good job, Charles. AB, what do you have here? Ravens, you like the over as well.
Yeah, there's no question here with the Ravens in the regular season. I mean, they're the best regular season team, arguably, every single year. You said it best. The playoffs is where it comes into question. So if you're asking me regular season wins, yeah, no question at all. I'm taking the over there.
And Ravens future?
All right, so Derrick Henry, all right, goes from the Titans over to the Ravens. And you're just talking about a guy like, when's he going to fall off? Let me tell you, never. Now, I mean, it's going to happen at some point, but look, I've seen Derrick Henry rush for 2,000 yards without an offensive line. The guy keeps going. He said it ever since he was in Alabama. All right. Same quote. Says it every year. Ball ain't heavy. Give it to me. Right. Like, he works harder than anybody else that's on that team. He's stronger than anybody else on that team. He can go toe to toe with any of the offensive linemen on that team. They're going to give him the ball in the red zone there. So take him over 10.5 rushing touchdowns. He'll also throw one. I don't know if anybody out there has paid attention to Derrick Henry and his passing touchdowns. He's thrown one, I think, 3 years in a row now. Take that bet. He'll have one again. I assure you that the Ravens will use him creatively in the red zone down there. And a fun fact here, you talk about a guy, him falling off, right? Derrick Henry, he's the only human being to walk this planet that's had 2,000 rushing yards in a high school season, 2,000 rushing yards in a college season, and 2,000 rushing yards in an NFL season. No one in the history of life has ever done that. He's the only person. Yeah, he'll be just fine.
Finally, as far as the Ravens win total this year goes, I'm going to go over as well. All right, so that's going to make it 3 out of the 4 of us with over 10.5 wins for the Ravens. For me, look, It's arguably the toughest division in football. The only other division that I think rivals it is that NFC North division. But I think the AFC North is the best division in football nonetheless. This is a Ravens team last year that won 13 games. The total's 10.5. There's not a lot of reason to believe that they're going to be more than 2 games worse. If they're going to be worse at all this coming season, there's really no reason to believe they're going to be more than 2 games worse. Derrick Henry, if you're worried about Lamar Jackson's health, which is always a worry, hey, you got to figure the fantasy football owner may not love Lamar Jackson having another big bruising running back to hand the ball off to because it could be less rushing yards for the quarterback. But if you can give the ball to Derrick Henry, you give the ball to Derrick Henry. That should go a long way toward keeping Lamar Jackson fresh and healthy. But like I said, I don't believe there's any reason that this team would be more than 2 games worse this year, if worse at all. So I got Ravens over 10.5 wins. Also, as far as my prop goes, if we could throw it back on the screen there, I want to make sure that I have the exact yardage correct. Lamar Jackson under 3,250.5, that was a mouthful, passing yards on the season, minus 110. And I'll go back to Derrick Henry. If you got Derrick Henry, it's win now mode. You didn't bring him in for nothing. You're going to hand the ball off 250, maybe a little bit more, 250 times to Derrick Henry. That's less opportunity for Lamar Jackson to throw, but that's a good thing. So I'm going under the passing yard total there for Lamar Jackson on the season. There you have it. So in total, just to recap real quick, 3 out of 4 of us have the Ravens over 10.5 wins on the season. AB?
Yep. So I wanted to bring up something. Dwayne in the chat brings up a really good point. All right. You might see Derrick Henry handed off to Lamar Jackson. If you're looking at this bet in regards to Derrick Henry rushing touchdowns, rushing yards, etc., understand that he will run the King Cat, which is just the Wildcat, with him as the quarterback. He'll do it all over the field. He'll do it at his own goal line. He'll do it at your goal line. He did it for the Titans with Mike Vrabel forever. John Harbaugh will do the exact same thing because it's even more difficult to tackle Derrick Henry when he's got a 2-step head start on you. Yeah, if you're looking at anything Derrick Henry, understand that will be in play as well.
So there you go. That's what we got on the Ravens for you here. Like we said here on Driving the Line, leading up to the start of the football season, we're giving you 2 teams every day. We're taking a look at their win totals. We're giving you the winning future plays as well. So the second team that we have today, as we stay within the AFC North, the Cleveland Browns. Now you look at that number, 8.5. I mean, it's a Browns team that won double digits last year. 8.5 over is minus 135. Under 8.5 wins, plus 115. Let's see if anybody will take the plus money. Let's start things out here. Charles, what do you like? Browns over or under 8.5 wins?
Yeah, 11-6 last season, so I'm going over 8.5. I think 9-8 would be appropriate. Just their out of division schedule, it sets up well for them. Once again, that they get that NFC East and AFC West, so Cowboys, Giants, Jags, Commanders, Raiders, Chargers, Saints, and maybe if they split with the Steelers and then Broncos, and that's not even including maybe they split with the Bengals and Ravens as well. So I think this team can get to 9 wins, and then for my prop. I'm going in David Njoku over 5.5 receiving touchdowns. He had 6 last season. I expect him to be a even bigger target as well this season as well. Big body down around the end zone. So give me David Njoku over 5.5 receiving touchdowns as far as the player prop.
So the Browns number, again, it looks low. 8.5 wins. We got 1 over there from Charles. Raphael, you like the over as well.
Yeah, I'm eating the chalk at minus 135 because you guys said 11 wins last year, and that was with no quarterbacks pretty much. A guy that was collecting his Social Security and playing quarterback at the end of the season. Yes, I know Watson has question marks. But I think Jameis Winston could be a big key on here because he can come in and maybe win you some games. They play the NFC East. I mean, that's not a tough division. We have no idea what the Cowboys are going to be, Eagles, Giants, all that. I just like the way the schedule goes. Again, 11 wins, and I'm really, really high on this defense. It was phenomenal last year. They're going to be phenomenal again this year. So I'm taking the over at minus 135, 8.5. And my prop is just what I said. The defense, over 48.5 sacks all season long. Last year, they had, 47 or 48 sacks last year. I'm going to go over on this one. I know that they haven't cashed this one 3 straight years, a lot of unders. But this defense is going to be phenomenal. I think Myles Garrett has a better year this year than he did last year. So I'm going to go the over and team sacks just because defense is going to win games. Defense is going to put them in the playoffs again.
All right, so there you go. We got a couple of overs already. Can we make it 3 for 3, AB? Let's hear it.
Definitely going over here with the Browns. They're going to be a good football team. And I think Deshaun Watson has finally reached a point where he's just saying, all right, look, I really don't care what the media is saying. Like, screw off. And I don't blame him. Like, just get over it. All right. Deal with it, whatever. I think that Deshaun Watson's going to come out pissed off this year and play good football and look like Deshaun Watson is supposed to look. He's taken the lumps. He's done all of that, right? Like, I think that it's time for him to step up. Nick Chubb, if he's healthy throughout the year, they've got one hell of a running attack, and they've got a great defense. So if you give me 8.5 wins, I'll take the over on that.
And what about a future?
Deshaun Watson, I'm also going to take him over interceptions because I think that he is going to be pressing in games. I think they're going to play tight games. You know how the AFC North is, especially when they're playing against each other. Point distribution totals go down when they're playing against each other because the Browns have defense. All right. The Bengals have somewhat of a defense. We know the Steelers have a defense. We know the Ravens have a defense, right? So when you're going up against all of those teams twice in a season, yeah, he's going to put up some picks, even when it's not really, egregious type plays. They just get hands up. Balls get tipped, man. Picks come. So, yeah, give me over 9.5. I'll take it there.
So all three of you guys over 8.5 wins for the Browns. I will be the lone dissenting vote. I'm going under 8.5 wins for the Browns, plus money, plus 115. I feel like it's one of those deals where you look at the number. Why is this number so low? You know what? Vegas usually knows. There's a reason. There's a reason it's low. I'm going under 8.5. And my main reason is, I don't know if you guys have seen Deshaun Watson. He's terrible. It's terrible. It's been years, literally years, since he has been an above average quarterback. And granted, years ago, when he was an above average quarterback, he was an elite quarterback. I mean, Houston, one of the best offenses. They're going to the playoffs. They're winning playoff games. He was terrific. He's the opposite now. He's terrible. I know there's a way that you could look at the Browns and you could say, hey, Joe Flacco's corpse led them to 11 wins last year. They called him. He was sitting on his couch in his underwear eating a bag of Cheetos, and they brought him aboard, and they made the playoffs. Yeah, they got better quarterback play from Joe Flacco last year than they were getting from Deshaun Watson. So just the fact that it's Watson this year, that doesn't make me feel better about the Browns improving upon last year. Like I said, probably the toughest division in all of football, that AFC North. I'm going under 8.5 wins. If you like the Ravens over, if you like the Bengals, which I do, the Steelers, hey, Tomlin's never had an under 500 season. Somebody has to lose games in that division. I think it's the Cleveland Browns. I'm going under 8.5 wins. And obviously, if I'm looking at a prop here, I'm sticking with Deshaun Watson. I don't know if you heard me say it moments ago. He's terrible. I'm going under 3,300 and a half. It's a mouthful. 3,300 and a half passing yards on the season, minus 120. I mean, does that mean Watson doesn't play the whole year because he gets hurt like usual? Does it mean that Jameis Winston steps in at one moment? I don't know. But I do know that Watson is going to continue to be a below average quarterback. It's maybe the worst contract, not in the NFL. We know that, in all of sports. So I'm going Deshaun Watson under 3,300 and a half passing yards on the season at minus 120. So there you have it. For the Ravens, we had 3 out of 4 over 10.5. For the Browns, 3 out of 4 over 8.5 wins on the season. Excellent job, everybody. And now, of course, you have your 2 teams for the day. Continue marching along throughout the week, giving you 2 teams every day. We'll give you the win totals and futures leading up to the start of the NFL season here on Driving the Line. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's get to today's whip around. And of course, it's always presented by Reagan, the movie.
Welcome to your life.
You can run from a bully for so long,
There's no
but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him.
What did the president know, and when did he know it?
I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight!
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Want to
There you have it. Looking forward to seeing Reagan the movie. Appreciate them being part of the show here. All right, let's get to our home run plays of the day first before we get to our picks for those who are late to the program today. So today's top 5 home run odds, and we want you guys obviously in the chat, everyone who's part of the crew, you throw up your picks there as well. Let's take a look. Mr. Producer Man, you'll put the 5 home run odds up for today's program up on the board. There you have it. All right, Matt Olson, plus 250. Yordan Alvarez, plus 300. Jorge Polanco, plus 375. Nolan Arenado, plus 500. Lourdes Gurriel, plus 650. AB, what do you like here? Get us started.
Well, those are yesterday's home run odds, but I'm going to go with Shohei Ohtani for today. We will get the right graphics that are up there. Shohei is about a plus 155 favorite there. I'm going to go and eat the chalk with Shohei and let it rip. There we go. Right there.
There we go.
Shohei Ohtani,
excellent job.
plus 155.
All right, so real quick, Shohei Ohtani, plus 155. Pete Alonso, plus 350. Anthony Santander, plus 400. Brent Rooker, 425. Ellie De La Cruz, plus 600. So we have one already for Ohtani at plus 155. Rafael, what do you like?
Last time the Big Bear was on this board, I hit, so I'm going to go back to the Big Bear. Here, Pete Alonso at plus 350. We're going to go back-to-back with Alonso hitting home runs that I picked him, so let's cash again.
Charles, what do we like here? Where's the money at today?
I'm going to double up on Pistol Pete, plus 350. Pete Alonso, plus, I was looking at Santander as well, plus 400, but for show purposes, Pete Alonso, plus 350.
Yeah, and I'm with you as well on Pete Alonso. Let's ride the Mets here. Give you a little something to watch tonight. It's an MLB Network game. Everybody gets MLB Network. Come on. So I'll have something riding on Pete Alonso here this evening, plus 350. Let's do it. So there you go. And of course, all you guys, part of the crew, you throw it up in the chat. Let us know what you like as well. All right. Let's get to our whip around. For anyone who missed some of the plays earlier in the program, let's make sure you don't miss anything. We all want to start the week right. Again, it's a football week. Week 0, college football. It's here. We got real football. We got games that matter every single week. A lot of action here on Driving the Line. Let's get to our picks from today. Rafael, give us a little background on what you like today here at Louisiana Downs.
Yeah, we're going to the ponies. We're going to Louisiana Downs, race 6, $10 win place. And a 2-horse, Shakira, I'm hoping she has a better performance than the real Shakira at the halftime show a couple years ago. But this one will hit the board. She's a great horse, should have great speed towards the end.
I mean, Rafael, excellent. Who doesn't like Shakira? Excellent job out of you. That's easy to remember. Charles, give us a little of the footy action today. What do you got?
In the meantime, until American football kicks off, we have European football with Spain, La Liga, Villarreal, Atletico Madrid, over 2.75 full-time goals. I see 3 at worst, but at least 4 in this one. And then Villarreal, Atletico Madrid, over 9.5 corners. And lastly, a stay on your toes live play, Atletico Madrid, team total over 1.5 goals.
AB, what do you got? Let's bring it home strong. Come on.
Major League Baseball, Reds, Blue Jays, over 8. We're still waiting on a pitching matchup, so you could see this total move one way or the other, but I'm going to take it right here at 8 and get it at minus 115.
So there you go. Anyone who checked us out late, again, Driving the Line, we're live every morning, 10 a.m. We don't want you to miss out. Recap some of the picks for you there so you get all the winning plays. Rafael?
Reds do have a pitcher. Aguilera is pitching today, and the total is still 8 to AB, and I love that play. We should see a lot of runs scored in that game.
Nice.
Very good. All right. So you got your winning plays. I can feel it. A bunch of green check marks are coming. You'll see tomorrow morning here at 10 a.m. on Driving the Line. So now that we have everything in, let's see what the crew chose for today. Let's get to the closing bell. All right, AB. Oh, there's not Pal Howie looking so handsome in his St. John's jersey. What did the crew like today? What do we got here, AB?
Orioles, Mets, over 9. The crew is feeling some runs there in, what is that, Flushing, New York?
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful Flushing, New York.
All right, so there we go. Anything else we got to let all the crew know about today here on a Monday to start the week, AB?
Nothing from me.
All right. There you have it. A man of many words. Thanks to everybody for hanging out with us. Of course, AB and Charles and Rafael. That's your crew for today. Getting the week started off on the right note. Appreciate everybody who has hung out with us today. Again, make sure you're looking out tomorrow. Tomorrow, huge day. The premiere of the Driving the Line podcast. That's going to be out tomorrow. You're going to love it. Just more and more continuing to grow here on Driving the Line. And of course, your pal Coach, he will be back as well. He's traveling all over the place with the golf. Everybody knows that. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Make sure you like, you rate, you comment, you tell your friends, you tell your mother I say hello. Make sure that you bring everybody part of the crew here on Driving the Line. And again, every morning, 10 a.m. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.